we're going to use, again, guys, good morning. We're going to use the file that we used last time, the data types. We're learning now data types and data structure. Okay, data classes or data types and data structure. Okay, we said that by way of review, we said that it's important for us to know and to understand that R can recognize different types of data types or data classes. R recognizes a numeric, a data, integer, a character, a logical, complex, and date. Okay, so these are examples of, there are others, but we will be focusing on these data classes or data types. So last time, I think we had this example. Am I right, guys? I think we already discussed this. And the sound off, guys. Have we? Hello? Did we, guys? Did we? Am I right, guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Sige, thank you. So, we learned this last time, di ba? Sabi natin na we use, this is called your assignment operator, guys. Tawag dyan, assignment operator. Assignment operator. Itong less than and then, less than and then minus. Okay, and we said that it's better to use this when you're assigning a variable to a particular value instead of the equal sign. Kasi equal sign ginagamit sa functions yan, and sometimes there might be confusion in the use of equal sign. So this is recommended, the use of assignment operator. And di ba yung shortcut nito? Naalala yung shortcut nito, guys? What's the shortcut for this one? Okay, ano yung shortcut, guys, ng ano ng assignment operator? Anyone, guys? Alt plus minus, di ba? Alt plus minus. Sa Mac, can anyone please confirm if it's command minus or alt minus? Mac users, please. Okay. Option minus ba? Paki-check nga. Nandiyan na okay. Pag tinype nyo ba yung option minus, ang lalabas itong assignment operator. Sino mga Mac users, please?
Yes, sir. Option po.
Okay, option minus ha. Dito. Option. Okay, option and then minus. All right. Now we said that if we run this, mag-generate yung object na A, no? If I run this, control enter. Okay, you can see here in the environment window sa mga values natin, may object tayo na A and value niya 1. Okay? If I want it printed either in your script window or in your console, if I want this printed, I will have to type A. If I type A, lalabas dito yung value na ni A, no? Lalabas din dito sa ano yan, sa console window. Now, this bracket 1 refers to the position of this value. 1 lang siya, ibig sabihin 1 row, 1 column lang to. Okay, we'll understand this more later. Now, if you want it automatically printed, you can put here. By the way, it's either A or you can type print A. Pareho lang yan. Pareho lang yan. Print A or A. They're the same. If I run that, notice dalawang beses siyang rinan. No? Kasi yung una, print A. Yung pangalawa, yung A. If I want the value printed without having to write print A or A, we can put the whole function, the whole code in parentheses. If I run this, you know, guys, rinan niya kagad, no? Print na kagad. All right. Now, class of A. Anong type sa A? Yung object na A. So it's a numeric value. Ibig sabihin, although hindi natin nakikita, this can carry decimals. Okay, kasi iba yung integer, di ba? Integer, walang decimal yun. Type of A, okay, double. Now, we will not go into the nuances of the difference between numeric at saka double. May mga nuances sila sa type ng float, but that's not our interest. Basta pareho lang yan, guys, for our purposes. Pareho lang yung numeric at saka double, pareho lang yan na can carry decimals. Ito, guys, si B, 3L, no? Sabi natin, kapag lagyan natin ng L yan, that's not a character that designates that this is an integer. If I type this, yun yun, no? 3. No? And then class, it's an integer. Okay? So it's an integer. So if you want to register integers, you have to insert L to it. Okay? There's also another way, but mamaya na lang. Okay, dates, guys. These are very important objects in finance, but we will learn that in the future. Okay. Now, here are some functions which we learned last time. Yung class, what kind of object it is. Yung class, this is more high level. High level yung pag-classify niya. Type of low level. Okay, pero pareho din yung hinihingi niya. No? Mode is a type or storage of the object. Names lists the elements of the object. Length, how long is the object? Okay. Then attributes, metadata. Okay. What's metadata? Metadata is data about the data. Okay, kunyari meron tayong let's say object na, let's say it's a data frame, tapos maraming mga variables doon. Any information about the variables of that object is called your metadata. It's information about your data or data about the data. This can be more seen for data frames. No? Sabi natin ang data frames, these are rows and columns of numbers na may mga variables. Okay, and then structure, and then dimension, which is similar to the length. Okay, so you're going to meet these functions. Please be aware of that. And some functions are more important depende dun sa type ng data natin. Okay. Now, another very important topic for us is yung structure. Yung structure actually collection ng data yan. So mas mataas na level siya. Okay, so there are different types of structures. Meron tayong vector, meron tayong list, meron tayong matrices, meron tayong data frame. Yung pinakamataas na level is a data frame. We will explain in a while. So vector muna. Vector, it's also called atomic. Bakit siya atomic? Kasi only one type of data yan. So, kunyari, you have an object, mga integers lahat, mga characters lahat, mga dates lahat, ang tawag dyan, guys, vector. Okay, so let's take a look at an example. A1 is an object consisting of a number 5. No? So this is a vector. Vector siya kasi numeric yung laman niya, yung 5. Okay? Kahit isa lang, vector pa rin siya kasi that can be treated as a set of data. No? Similar data, kahit isa lang siya. Okay, for this one, let's create this object called nums, and C means concatenate or combine 1.1, 3, negative 5.7. So is this a vector? Yes. The object nums is a vector kasi pareho-parehong mga mga numeric values. No? So if we run this, okay. So you have 1.1, 3, and negative 5.7, and if we take a look at the class of nums, it's numeric. No? So it's a numeric vector. Okay, so si nums na object, numeric vector siya. Okay, if we take a look, for example, at the length, ano ba yung length ni nums? Ito ko na lang susulat. Okay, so tatlo siya, kasi tatlo yung elements siya. which is the same as dimension ni nums. Hindi, sorry, iba pala to, no? As for ano to, for data frames, yung dimension. Okay, sorry about that. So length ni nums is 3. 1.1, 3, negative 5.7. All right. Okay, we did this last time, but let's just do that now. Okay, yung pag-generate ng random numbers, one way is to use the rnorm function. If you want to learn more about a particular function, you can use this code question mark in rnorm or help and then rnorm. Magraran ba to guys, itong question mark rnorm? Okay, if I press Control Enter here, bakit hindi siya nag-run? It does not run, guys. Anyone? Why didn't this this help function not run? Answer? Kasi guys, nasa labas siya ng code siya. If you want to run this, pwede natin i-run dito sa Control C. Dito natin siya i-run sa console. Kasi sa console, hindi naman tayo naglalagay ng code chunk dito eh. Yan. Mag-run siya. Alright, so rnorm guys, I think we did this before. So you have dnorm, pnorm, qnorm, rnorm. So iba-iba yung generate niyan. So it's the same as help rnorm. Okay, so let's run this code chunk. Okay, that's it, guys. We use this so that we have the same random numbers. So the function rnorm will give us 100 random numbers. The default is that the mean is equal to 0 and the standard deviation is equal to 1. So standard normal distribution to with 100 observations. So let's run this. Notice that it's in parentheses, di ba? Kung naka-parentheses yan, automatically ipiprint ni R yung result yan dito. And may I have your confirmation, guys, if you have the same values. 1.528 ba yung first value nyo? Paki-chat naman, please. I hope everyone will chat, guys. When you run this, just the first one, yung devs lang. Just this one. Pati dapat to, no? Set.c. If you run this, sorry, hindi ko pala na set.c kanina. You should have negative 5.02. Did you get that, guys? Okay, I'm waiting for the others to respond. Okay, good. A while ago, I got 1.58. Iba siya kasi hindi ko nasama hindi ko nasama yung set.c. I failed to highlight both. Okay, so since when I highlight both, and then you did the same, then thank you for all who responded. So pare-pareho na tayong 100 objects na to, no? 100 yung size ng sample natin. So this is 1, ibig sabihin the first one is negative 5.02. 5, ibig sabihin, this is the fifth element, yung 0.11. And then dito, this is the 97th element, 97, 98, 99, 100. So 100 yung elements natin. Okay, thank you guys. Thank you for responding to my query. All right, then, of course, guys, since ito yung object natin, it's numeric from 1 to 100. Ibig sabihin 100 yung number of observations natin. Again, guys, if we use the function length ni devs, we expect 100. No? Okay, then we can get the mean. The mean of devs, okay, we should be getting the same answer, 0.0029. So that's approximately 0. Okay, kasi di ba, hindi natin linagyan ng mean dito. Ibig sabihin, ang default niya, mean should be equal to 0. And if we test the standard deviation, it should be very close to 1. Okay. Pagdagdagan pa natin to guys ng sample size, mas talagang malapit na yan sa mean of 0 and standard deviation is equal to 1. But we won't do that, guys. I'll leave that to you. Okay. If you want guys to see the object in a spreadsheet here, ito sa tabs natin, you can use the view function, view, and then devs, and then it will generate the object. So this is your devs object, and it consists of 100 observations. Nakalist dyan guys yung elements ng observations natin. Okay, so that's view devs. Okay, then ano binibigay sa atin ng summary naman? Summary, okay, it will give us yung 6 number summaries, yung minimum value, Q1, quartile 1, Q2, median, then the average, the mean, and third quarter, Q3, and then maximum value. So that's what the summary function gives us. Okay. Now, dagdag natin dito yung STR. No? STR, yung structure ni devs. Ano ba naman ito? Okay? So, ano lang siya, no? Since isang ano lang siya, isang variable lang yan. Ito lang yan, ano? Okay? List lang siya ng, it's just a vector. So, ang ibibigay lang sa atin sa kanya, yung mga numbers, no? Yung mga numbers lang. Yung structure, it will be more, let's say, more complete kung when we're working with the data frames. No? Kasi ipapakita niya lahat ng variables dun sa natin, sa object. Okay, and R is also very, very powerful as far as plotting is concerned. Histogram. Okay, ang daling mag-plot sa R. Okay. Any questions so far, guys? Paki-chat naman please kung clear so far tayo dun sa first code, mga code chunks natin. Clear naman, guys? Okay, good. Thank you. Thank you. Right. Okay. Alright. Salamat, guys. Huh? Thank you. Okay, this one we did already. No? So if we want to know the object more, class, so numeric siya. Type of, so double, no? So yung class guys, sabi natin higher level yan. Yung type of, it's a lower level classification. Okay, but we will not go into the details of what's the difference between a numeric and a double. But basta pareho lang na decimal place yan. Pareho lang na they can carry on decimals. Length, we did this already. Sabi natin 100 dyan. Ano naman yung mode? Okay, mode, medyo similar sa class. No? And then structure, we did this also a while ago. Since this is just a vector, isa lang ibibigay niyo sa atin yung list ng numbers. Okay. Alright, ito guys, in particular, you learn that these are really more powerful when we're dealing with data frames. No? Okay, then this is another one, guys, another example. Set that seed 200. We're creating an object called devs1. Okay, R norm ulit, 100 observations with mean equal to 90, standard deviation is equal to 5. Okay, and then let's run this code chunk together. Itong buo na. Okay. To run everything, so i-generate niya yung 100 observations for devs1. I'm sure you had 90.42378 also kasi nag-set that seed tayo to 200. Ibig sabihin pare-pareho tayong random numbers. Tapos this one is your mean, mean ng devs is 90.1423, quite close to 90. And then the standard deviation is 4.59. Okay. Also close to 5. So sabi natin, kung dagdagan natin yung sample size, gawin natin 10,000 or 100,000 or greater, guys, you'll notice that when we get the mean and the standard deviation, it will be practically equal to the designated mean of your R known. In this case, 90, yung mean natin, standard deviation is equal to 5. Alright, so ganun din, guys, yung summary. Okay, it will give us the 6 number summary, yung minimum, quartile 1, quartile 2, average, quartile 3, and the maximum value. Okay, we should be getting the same answers, guys. Okay, so let's go to the next one, guys. Notice, guys, medyo I'm going breezing through the others kasi alam ko na nagawa na natin yan. So it's just a matter of extra example. Okay, here we're creating an object called G, no? Si G, ang laman niya, kino-combine natin yung 1 to 10. Okay, tingnan natin to. Okay, so here 1 to 10, tapos G, this one naman G1. Okay, notice na ito, gumamit tayo ng 1 to 10 na na dot. Okay, we'll have the same answer 1 to 10, kaso magkaiba sila, no? Magkaiba sila ng class. Okay, if I get the class of this concatenated figures compared to yung 1 to 10 na naka-column siya, let's see. Okay, this one, yung naka-concatenate siya, produces a numeric class. While this one, yung naka 1 to 10 siya na column, produces an integer. Okay, so you notice the nuances of R here. Kapag ginamit lang natin, kunwari 1 colon 100, that will be an integer vector. Pag ginamit naman natin yung yung list na C, and then spell out natin, it will be a numeric. Sige, i-check natin, guys, maggawa tayo ng G2 naman. Dito ko na is write out minus C 1 up to 10. Okay, ito kinumbayan ko, guys, si C at saka yung 1 to 10. What happens? I-run natin. Okay, so dito siya. Okay, and what prevailed, guys? Yun na yun dito sa ilalim. G2 sa mga environment. It's an integer. So nag-prevail, guys, yung 1 to 10. Check natin class G2. Okay, integer pa rin siya. So pag gamitin natin yung yung 1 colon 10 na yan or any number, okay, it will be an integer even if we use the combined function there. Okay, yung type of naman, type of ni G, since it's numeric, guys, ang type of niya double, ang type of ni G1 integer pa rin. Okay, ang length ni G, okay, ang length ni G is 10. Pareho silang 10 actually. Okay, so dito what we learned here is that when we use the combine concatenate function, okay, and then list down numeric values, it will give us a numeric vector. Pag ginamit naman natin, guys, yung column na 1 to 10, this will give us an integer vector. So G is a vector, guys, numeric vector. G1 is a vector also, integer vector. Okay. Right. So ito, guys, integer vectors to, no? So I'm creating an object called K. Okay. Dito I use C. So we might think, i-generate nito numeric vector. Actually, hindi, guys. Kasi, tingnan nyo, we imposed it. Kinorse natin si R na i-treat itong mga objects na to, itong sample na to, as, di ba, pag L, guys, integer yan. So let's create K. Yan. Pinit nyo si K, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then type of class, pareho lang yan. Enter natin. So integer siya. Okay? So notice kahit natin ginamit si C, pero in-impose natin dapat na L siya, which means it's an integer. Okay, let me pause for a while. Any questions dito, guys, sa integer vectors? Paki-chat naman please kung clear so far tayo. Guys, if I'm going too fast, please inform me. If you want a particular code repeated, explain ko ulit. Kaya naman ganun yung pace ko dito kasi alam ko naman na kaya-kayang intindihin kagad ito. Good. Thank you so much. But I hope I get responses from all the members of the class. So far kasi on the average, nakaka-10 lang tayo. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So let's go. Diba tayo? Okay, ito guys, another example lang din to. Without running this, paki-chat nga guys. Without running it, ano yung class nito? What vector will be generated out of this? Remember guys, vector 2 kasi it's a, you have a collection. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Are they the same? Yes. So anong klaseng vector 2? Good, good. Thank you, you're correct. No? Tama, tama class. It's numeric. Yan, very good. So numeric to, without running it kasi gumamit siya ng C, hindi naman niya in-impose na dapat integer yan by using L or using 1 colon 5. No? So if I run this, if I print siya, and then I know that the class is numeric, the type of is double. Okay, now what happens if I create this code, and I'm going to create an n, tapos it's as that integer m. Okay, so let's run this. Subukan natin i-run itong second batch ng code na to. Enter, control enter. Okay, and then so notice guys sa ilalim may n na rin tayo, no? So si M, pinunin siya sa environment natin. Diba si M guys, numeric, no? 1 to 5. N on the other hand is integer. Okay? So, print niya 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Class is integer, type of is integer. So, we were able to coerce that the object N be an integer, and we call that as implicit coercion. Implicit coercion. Correct. Okay, so moving on, guys. Okay, so let's create an object called let, and this consists of, this is a character vector to, no? A, B, C, D, E. So iran muna natin to. Okay, yan. A, B, C, D, E. And then let's take a look at ano ba yung class or type nila. Okay? So it's a character vector. Now, pwede ba na si character vector gawin nating integer? Let's see. Let's create this object called let1 and then i-impose natin as that integer. Si let. Ibig sabihin nun, we're saying that please make let be an integer, and let's create this object let1. Okay, ano nangyari? Ano nangyari guys? Not introduced, NA is introduced by coercion. Okay, alright. Kinoerce niya, kinonvert niya itong A, B, C, D, E into integers. Kaso NA. Ibig sabihin, not applicable, not available. Ibig sabihin, hindi niya na coerce. Okay, hindi niya na coerce si integer si character into an integer. Okay, so sa coercion guys, meron tayong coercion rule dito, no? So remember this. A vector, remember that a vector can only be composed of one data type. Kung numeric yan, numeric lahat dapat yung laman yan. Kung may kung may character, character lahat, no? Kung date, date lahat. Okay? Now, pag i-combine natin, this means that you cannot have both a numeric and a character in the same vector. If you attempt to do this, the lower ranking type will be coerced into the higher ranking type. Okay, what does that mean? Ano ibig sabihin nun? Kunyari may logical tayo, may integer, may numeric, may complex dun sa object natin. Okay? What will happen? What will happen? I-coerce niya, the lower ranking type will be coerced into the higher ranking type. Okay, ito yung hierarchy, no? Turns out that si character siya yung pinaka-highest ranking. So kung may integer ka diyan, ang gagawin ni R guys, si integer gagawin niyang character. Kung may logical ka, si logical gagawin niya rin character. Okay, let's have an example. Dito na tayo maglagay, no? Nag-insert tayo. Command Alt minus or sa ano? I'm creating a code chunk. Control Alt I. Okay, sa Mac command option I yata. Wala yata Alt sa Mac. Okay, let's create an object. Let's call it obj. 8 lang tayo. Alt minus. Okay, concatenate natin. Okay. Logical muna. True. Diba? Si logical guys, true or false yan, or you can use T. Logical yan. Or let me type true. So this is a logical object, true. Si integer gawin natin 101L. Diba? Integer yan, diba? Comma. Si numeric, let's say, si numeric gawin natin kahit ang number, 34.57. Okay? So that's a numeric. Si complex, guys, 3 plus 2i. Huh? Diba? Complex number yan. Imaginary number. Then si character, let's write here Star Wars. Okay. So we have an object here. Tapos ang laman niya, iba-ibang klaseng object. No? Iba-ibang klaseng data type. Meron tayong logical, meron tayong integer, meron tayong numeric, meron tayong complex, meron tayong character. So ano mangyayari dyan? Kasi hindi pa pwede maging vector to eh, di ba? A vector can only include one type of object, one data type. So i-print natin to. Okay. So I paste here some parentheses. Control Enter. Okay, ano nangyari guys? What do you notice? Ano ginawa ni R? Ano ginawa niya? Trinate niya, oh. So what are these guys? Ano itong mga, ano na to? Ano itong mga object na to? Si true, si 101, 34.57. What are they guys? Anyone? Makikita nyo guys, may quotes. So pag may quotes siya, ano siya? Chat please. Yes, thank you. Thank you Luigi, thank you Sid. Tama, no? Angel, salamat. Tama. Ginawa siyang character. Kino-urge siya. No? Bakit? Kasi ang rule guys, kapag if we join together several data types in one vector, yan, katulad nito, mag-force coercion si R. The lower ranking type will be coerced into the higher ranking type. Yan. So ginawa niya dito, yan, ginawa niya lahat character. Okay? Kino-urge siya. If we see the class, is character siya. Okay? Clear ba yan guys? Okay, sige, tingnan na naman natin. May isa example tayo dito. No? So, we have this object W. Okay, alam natin na 0 to 6, this will be a, ano to? Without running this guys, what will we have? What will this be? Alam natin na 0 to 6, this will be an integer, di ba? So, sige, i-run natin to. Yan, kita natin dito. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, integer siya. Let's have another object, W1. Okay, W1, we're concatenating 0 to 6, and we know that this should be a numeric, ang class na numeric, ang type of double. Let's run this as expected, no? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then numeric siya. Okay. Now, let's create an object. Lagyan natin ito ng W2. Pakilagyan na lang guys, alt minus. Okay. W2, ano ginagawa natin dito? As that numeric W, no? And then let's check class W2. Okay. Tuduhin na lang natin ito guys. Ito. I-print na lang natin si W2. Sorry about that. Okay, what I did here was to create another object, W2. Tapos, ang ginagawa natin, kino-coerce natin na si W. W is an integer, di ba? Gusto natin siyang gawin numeric. And then, tanungin nga natin kung ano yung class ni W2. Okay, so we can run this as one line. Enter. Alright, ano yung nangyari, guys? What happened? Ano nangyari? Di ba si W integer siya, di ba? Tama. Tapos, yung ginawa natin, kinurse natin siya. Sabi natin, we'll create an object called W2, tapos gusto natin gawing numeric si W. Now, sa hierarchy guys, pwede ba yun? Si integer ba pwedeng gawing numeric? Yes. Ito yung hierarchy, no? Integer can be converted into numeric, it can be converted into complex, it can be converted to character, but not the reverse, no? Si numeric guys, hindi natin pwedeng gawing integer yan. Si character, hindi pwedeng gawing logical yan. So one way lang yung direction yan, no? Unidirectional. So when we converted W, which is an integer vector, into a numeric vector, pwede. Okay? Alright. Balik na rin natin ngayon. Okay, so ito, tanggalin na lang natin to guys. Kasi may W tayo, di ba? Okay, so gawin natin, I'll create another object, W3. Okay, and then, yan, and then class W3. Okay, what are we doing here? I'm creating an object called W3, and then I'm converting, we would like to make W guys, which is an integer vector. Ito, integer, gagawin natin logical. Without running it guys, pwede ba yun? Can we convert an integer vector into logical vector? No. Hindi pa pwede. Okay? Hindi siya pa pwede kasi it violates yung hierarchy. Logical can be converted into integer, but not vice versa. Okay, sorry. Okay, W3 gagawin ko siyang object siya. Gagawin natin logical si W. Check natin si class ni W3. Run. Okay, what happened? So now, W3 ask that logical W. Wait. Wait na. Also, 2. So, si W. Okay. Okay, sorry ha. May exception nga pala. No? I forgot about the exception. Okay. Ano nangyari dito? Nag-coerce pa rin siya, no? Si integer, kino-coerce niya. Ano nangyari? Yung 1, guys, which is, kasi pag integer, pag 0 and 1, guys, it can stand as logical. So what happened here? 0, ginawa niyang false. Okay, 1, the rest, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, ginawa niyang true. Okay, so mukhang hindi yung naging maganda yung example ko. Kasi kino-coerce pa rin niya. So may special na rule kapag logical. May special na rule kapag logical. When we coerce some objects into a logical value, some will run, some will not. In this case, yung integer, 0, ginawa niyang false. The rest, ginawa niyang true. Okay. W became Angel, ano sinabi dito? Kanina pa to, no? Kanina pa to yung sa W2. Pero dito guys, anong nangyari? Na-convert ba niya into a logical? Yes, no? Yes. So, may ano dito guys sorry about this, I forgot to tell you. May exception dito, no? Especially when we're coercing into logical, sometimes you can coerce an integer into a logical character into logical. Subukan natin. Let's see. Asan na ba si character natin? Diba si object natin, is character, di ba? Okay. Yan, object. Si object natin, OBJ, is a character vector. Let's see if we can convert. Gawin natin obj 1, no? Obj 1 na lang. Okay, obj 1 out minus and ask that logical si obj, okay, and then class obj. Okay, take a look at this code, guys. So what we're doing here is we're creating an object called obj1, and then we're linking it to the object obj. Diba si obj, guys, ito, no? Yan, ito si obj. Let's see. Where's our obj? So, si obj ito. Ito, di ba? Tingnan natin po. Ito si obj. True, 101. Ano sila? Kinurse niya siya into characters. So what I'm going to do here is I'm creating an object called obj1, and then I'm coercing the obj object into a logical vector. Let's see. Okay. Nag-logical siya. Obj1. Print na natin to. Yan. Okay. So dito, guys, yung mga pwede niyang gawing pwede niyang gawing logical, ginawa niya, no? Okay. True. Ayan, ginawa niyang true. Pero not all, no? So itong 101, hindi niya na-coerce, kaya not applicable, not applicable, not applicable. Okay. So you can see here that when we were trying to coerce the object to become illogical, some were coerced, no? So itong true, kasi itong true dito sa object, dito sa object vector natin, this is a character. Pero ginawa niya, na-coerce niya into a logical. But the rest, yung 101, 34.57, hindi niya na-coerce. Okay? So some of the nuances, guys. No? Okay. So far, guys, clear ba tayo? Paki-chat naman. Please, so kung clear. Okay, thank you. Now, kaya lang naman natin pinag-uusapan to, guys, sa sa context ng isang vector. No? Although later on sa pag-data frame, pwede rin natin gawing, kunyari may character vectors, may variable na character, and we want that to be converted into a factor. I'll explain that in a while. Pwede natin gawin yung coercion na yan. Okay, so thank you so much for your responses. No? Next, guys, let's go to this one. Ito naman, ang ginagawa dito, as logical na tayo. No? Ito, we have integer into character. Without running it, palitan na natin to, guys. No? Kasi meron na tayong W, huwag na natin i-run to. Dapat, hindi na dapat yan. Dapat W4 na tayo, W4, alt minus, and then ito, as character W, and then class W4. Dapat ganyan yung pag-run natin. And then let's put here a parenthesis para ma-print siya. So what are we doing here? We're creating an object called W4, and then, wait. Ano ba yung W? W is, dito. Okay, W is integer. Okay, will this run, guys? Definitely, guys. Definitely this will run. Bakit? Kasi W is integer, pwedeng i-convert si integer into a higher rank data type. No? Pwede siya ma-convert into a character. So let's run this. Pwede yan. Huwag na itong W. Yung W4 na lang. There. Notice, guys, diba si W integer yan. Pero when we converted into a character, pwede. Pwede. Tapos si W4, character vector na siya. Okay, so I hope that's clear, guys. Babalik lang tayo dito sa hierarchy na to. Of course, there will be some exceptions. Okay, generally, hindi pa pwedeng bumalik unless logical, no? Kapag may character na true, pwede niyang i-ano. Kapag integer naman, actually pwede, no? 0 or non-zero. Okay. Alright, then dito, paano nang si complex? So let's create another object, W5. 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 So what are we doing here? We're converting, convert natin guys si W, which is integer, into, walang dito ng parenthesis. Convert natin siya into complex. Pwede ba yun? Tingnan natin. Si integer ba pwede ma-convert into complex? Yes, pwede. Pwede siya. So let's run this, W5. Huwag na yung, huwag na yung W. Alright. Ano nangyari guys? Pwede. Naging complex siya. Remember guys, diba ang complex is a number consisting of a real number plus an imaginary number. So linagyan lang niya yung mga integers linagyan lang niya ng 0i. So complex pa rin yan. Yung imaginary component 0. Okay, clear so far guys? So dun sa rule ng coercion, an integer can be converted into a complex number. Okay, Angel, my question is Angel. Angel, paki-share yung question mo to others.
I just asked if character can be transformed into logical.
Pero sana yung question
Okay po.
ano mo, para makita ng iba. No? Copy-paste mo na lang to everyone. This is a good question. Okay, so question Angel, character can be transformed into logical. Partly guys, partly. Sabi natin kanina na some characters can be converted into logical, yung true lang or false. Diba? Itong natin, ito yung ginawa natin kanina. Si object 1 consists of, ano ba yung object natin kanina? Diba si object consists of, saan yun? I keep on going back to that. Diba? It consists of, ito diba? Ito siya. Ito si object natin. True, 101, 34.7. But these are all characters, guys. Kasi may code siya. When we tried to convert it into logical, sino lang na-convert? Ano convert lang si true. Okay? But 101, character 101, hindi siya na-convert. So as to the question, pwede bang, can we convert a character into logical? Okay? It depends, no? It depends. Not all. Na-convert niyo si true na character or si false na character, mako-conversion. But not the others, no? 101 sa character, hindi niya na-convert into logical. Okay, so yes and no, no? Yes and no. Did that answer your question, Angel? Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you po.
Okay, good. All right. Ito guys, nagkamali ako sa dito, sa code ko. I was using sample. Okay, if you want, sample. Let's see what the sample function can give us. Sample comes from the base R, which is from R itself. So there's this code chunk function, sample. Okay, for example, ito sample x. Okay, size replace is equal to true, probability is equal to null. Yun yung syntax niya. Tapos sample int n, size is equal to n, replace is equal to false. Okay, so let's have this example. Ano yung x? Either a vector of one or more elements from which to choose, or a positive integer. Okay, and then n is a positive number. So let's modify our code. Okay, may mali ako dito. Okay. Let's create an object called int. Copy ko na lang to. Control C, Control V. Okay. I'm creating an object called int sample ng it's 1 up to 100. So ibig sabihin ito yung vector na kung saan manggagaling yung pagpipilian. Tapos how many? Liitan na muna natin, gawin natin 10. And then replace is equal to 2. Ibig sabihin, pwede niyang maulit yung number na pipiliin. Kunyari, una, pinili niya 10 or 99, pwede maulit yung 99. So this will also generate a set of random numbers. If I run this here, so nagkaroon ako ng int na object. Where's my int? Yan. It's an integer. Magkakaiba tayo guys kasi hindi tayo nag-set that seed. So here I generated 10 random numbers. 87, 43, 2, 89. Okay. Pwede maulit ng kahit anong number dito guys kasi replace is equal to true. If I placed here, replace is equal to false, ibig sabihin unique lahat yan. Unique lahat yan. Okay, so sample is used to generate, in this case, integers. No? In fact, pwede natin ginamit yung sample.int. You can see here, ito, sample.int. This is the same. It will generate for us random numbers. Okay. Alright. So pinakita ko lang tong pinakita ko lang dito yung paggamit ng sample. So we'll go back to that. We'll go back to this function. So ito mali ito guys. No? I think dati pwede ito guys. So na-deprecate yata if I'm not mistaken. Dati pwede ito to signify that it's an integer. Pero sometimes kasi R keeps on changing yung code, yung syntax. So most probably guys, I think if I'm not mistaken, this used to run before. Kaso binago na yung syntax ng sample. Kaya hindi na siya nag-run ngayon. So binago na natin guys. So clear ba itong sample function? So you use this in order to sabi ang sample daw takes a sample of this specified size from the elements of X using either with or without replacement. With replacement, ibig sabihin, take a look at kunyari parang may tayo, may let's say may mga blocks, no? Kunyari Scrabble pieces. Di ba ang Scrabble pieces? Hindi Scrabble pieces. Kunyari numbers, no, from 1 to 100. And then we're going to put it in a certain container. Tapos kukuha tayo ng isang number doon. Una nakuha natin 30. I-record natin 30. Tapos yung with replacement, ibabalik natin yung 30 dun sa ibabalik natin yung 30 dun sa bowl. Ibig sabihin, there's still a chance na makukuha ulit natin yung 30. No? So pwede maulit yung 30. That's what we mean by replace is equal to true. Pag replace is equal to false, pag nakuha na yung 30, hindi na natin ibabalik siya dun sa bowl of numbers. Ibig sabihin, there's no chance for 30 to be chosen again. Okay, yun ang ibig sabihin ng replace is equal to true or replace is equal to false. Okay, now let's take a look at these character vectors. Okay, so dito guys, may character vectors tayo. Here, we created an object called I. Okay, anong difference ito? I, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Let's run this yung unang I na to. Okay. Alright, so hindi siya na-recognize, choose, hindi siya na-recognize. So kailangan ipasok natin sa quotes. No? So dapat ang ginawa natin, C, kasi these are characters. No? Kaya dapat may quotation siya. Open and close quotations. If we run this, okay, na-recognize niya. Tapos type of, alam natin na character yan. Okay, and then the length is I. So very simple lang guys, kapag character vector dapat yung naka-enclose sa quotations yung characters natin, no? yung object natin, yung data natin. Now this one, we did this a while ago. You have an integer, you have a numeric, you have a logical value, and then you have a character. Alam natin guys na pag vector, dapat pare-parehong data type lang siya. So this will be coerced. Alam natin to? Yan, kin-coerce siya, di ba? Parang yung example natin kanina. Into a character vector. Okay, then here we're creating an object called false and true. Okay? So hindi ito mara-recognize kasi ang false dapat guys, all caps, no? Hindi rin siya character kasi hindi naman siya naka-quotes. So R will not recognize this. Mag-error yan. Object false, not found. If you want this to be a logical value, then dapat all caps or pwede ring F lang or T. No? It can be abbreviated. So this one, mara-recognize na to. Tira natin to. Yan, false, false, true, false, false. Okay? And it's a logical type. Dito gawin natin class J1. So we're creating an object called J1 here. Okay. And then ano yung class niya? So ganoon din, logical din siya. Okay, pause muna ako. Any questions about character vector, logical vector? So again guys, kapag vector, only one data type. Kapag gumawa ka ng isang vector tapos magkakaiba, i-coerce yan dun sa higher level. Okay, clear so far guys? Paki-chat naman please. Okay. Kung clear so far tayo. Good, thank you. Thank you. Please feel free to ask questions if you have any questions. And salamat ha, salamat. Appreciate your feedback. Okay, let's now go here guys. Okay, operations. Okay, ito nakita natin ito kanina, yung the use of colon. It will be treated as an integer, di ba? Ito. So alam natin to na itong object na to na numbers, kahit na naka-concatenate siya, pero pag ginamit natin yung colon 1 to 10, that will be treated as an integer. Yan, integer siya. Okay, we already did that a while ago. Okay, how about this one? Kinoncatenate natin 1 to 10, ginamit natin yung C, walang colon. We know that this should be, ang class nito numeric, ang type of will be double. Yan, as expected, just like what we discussed a while ago. So repeat na lang to, no? All right. Now, you can do operations, no? We know that numbers, guys, ano ba yung numbers? The numbers object natin, ito, numbers, integer siya, di ba? Yan, nasa ilalim. 1 to 10. It consists of 1 up to 10. Pag ginawa natin numbers plus 2, and then numbers times square root of 10, and then numbers plus numbers 1, kasi may numbers 1 din tayo, no? Okay, will this be performed? So here we placed some parentheses para automatically ma-print na niya. I-run natin to, guys. Okay, nag-run ba siya? Yes, rinan niya. No? Kasi itong numbers, guys, it's a vector, di ba? Numbers, it's an integer vector. So, yeah. Numbers is an integer vector. So pag nag-plus 2 tayo, magpa-plus lang siya ng 2 sa bawat isa. Numbers is 1 to 10. Pag nag-plus 2 siya, ipa-plus siya ng 2 sa bawat isa. Ganun din dito, times square root of 10, i-multiply niya each and every elements by square root of 10. And then ito, numbers plus numbers 1, it will perform also kasi yung isa, integer vector, yung isa numerical vector, so parehong number siya, pwedeng i-add. No? Okay, so pause again guys. Any questions? Clear ba? Okay, chat naman please guys. If you notice guys, in places where I think nakaya namang parang medyo simple naman yung I tend to go fast kasi I'm sure that you'll easily get it. But no problem, guys. If you have questions, which you're doing anyway, thank you so much for those who are asking questions. Maganda yun, guys. Kung hindi clear sa inyo, please don't hesitate to answer questions. All right. Ito naman, guys. Sequence. Yan. You can also create a vector using the sequence function. Okay, pwede natin i-ano dito, guys. Make it a habit, guys. Sequence. Yan. Make this a habit. Right. Yan. So may mga ano dito, no? May mga information. Maganda yung help function ng R, guys. No? It will tell us what the sequence is. It can be sequence lang. Ito yung syntax niya from what number up to what number by, tapos may pwedeng length pa, etc. Tapos pwede rin sequence dot integer from to by length dot out. Okay, maraming pwedeng gawin dito, no? Right, and here below you have some examples dito. Okay, examples dito. Okay, let's take a look at this. You can of course copy this. Pwede nyo guys on your own copy these examples, i-run nyo sa console one at a time. Tapos tingnan nyo kung ano yung ginagawa na. But here we have our example. So sequence, di ba ang syntax from is equal to 1 up to 3 by 0.2. Ibig sabihin yung mag-i-increment siya from 1 up to 3, tapos mag-i-increment siya by 0.2. So let's run this. Tapos naka-parenthesis na siya. So ipiprint na yan. There. Okay, tingnan nyo guys, no? 1, 1.2, 1.4. So nag-increment siya ng 0.2 hanggang umabot siya sa 3. Okay, so very easy to generate a sequence of numbers. Ito naman, sequence from 1 to 5, tapos dapat ang length niya, ang number niya 4. Length that out means kung ilang numbers ang i-generate. Ano natin ito? Okay. So dito 1, 2.33, 3.667, equally distance yan, equally spaced, hanggang 5. Ilang numbers? Length that out, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. From what to what? From 1 up to 5. So ang gagawin niya, i-divide niya yan, 4 numbers, equally spaced, and then generate this sequence. Okay guys, clear so far yung sequence? Although this will be good guys for you to try to run. No? Ito 1 to 9 by pi. Subukan natin to. Tanggal natin. Control C. Hindi natin dito. Control D. Okay. Sequence from 1 to 9 by pi. Okay. Yan. Okay. So, gawa natin ang object A1. Tapos i-print natin. Okay, A1, print natin to. There. Okay, from 1 up to 9. Now, bakit hanggang 7.28 lang siya? Bakit guys? Bakit hindi siya nag-9? Kasi if you add pi here, 3.14, lalampas na siya. No? So, hanggang ano lang, hanggang 7.28 lang. Hindi na niya tinuloy, hindi niya rin record si 9 guys kasi dapat equal yung increments by 3.14. If you add 3.14 here, lalampasan siya. So hindi na niya generate yung object na 9. Okay? I hope that's clear. Okay. We can modify a vector using the assignment operator. Okay, tingnan natin to ha. So here we're creating an object called Q. Lagyan natin ng ano na lang ng parenthesis to. Although dito linagay niya, pwede rin to, no? Ang galing ko to. Notice how the code was constructed. Q, tapos semicolon, and then Q. Ibig sabihin, ipiprint na yung Q. So ano laman ito? -3, -2 hanggang 2. Okay, so let's run this. Okay, so ito siya, no? -3, 2, -1, 0, 1, 2. Okay, here, Q2. Ano ibig sabihin ng Q2? Yung second element no, ng Q, which is -2. Tapos sabi niya, gawin kong 0. Alright? So the second element of this object Q, how do I know that? Q bracket 2 which is -2, okay, you assign 0 to it. Print natin to. So let's see what happens. I-print na lang natin sabay-sabay to. Okay. So take a look at this, guys. Yung una, -3, -2, -1, 0. And then when we modify the vector Q, sabi natin, yung second element gawin natin 0, ginawa ng 0. Okay? So very convenient way to do this. And then you can modify by defining what was the cell location or address. Okay, we can delete a vector by simply assigning a null to it. Ito, Q. Okay, di ba may Q tayo dito, di ba? Q, it's numeric, naging -3, 0, -1, 0, 1, 2. By the way, guys, take note. What happened to our Q? Dati yung Q natin, -3, -2, -1, hanggang 2. Tapos pinalitan natin yung second element. Ang nangyari ngayon, yung bagong Q natin, in-overwrite na niya itong unang Q natin na -2. So if you take a look at our Q here, -3, 0 na siya yung pangalawa. Okay, and if we run this Q null, by the way, guys, hindi ko na now always make it a habit, guys, na kapag mag-ano kayo ng code chunk, lagyan niyo siya ng just like what I mentioned dun sa sa R markdown natin, lagyan niyo siya ng ng name. Kahit simple na name para if you're looking at ito, tingnan mo. Okay, walang pangalan yung mga code chunks ko. Okay, may mga pangalan yung mga hashtag, yun yung mga headers natin. Pero walang pangalan yung mga chunks, so that if I want to access a particular chunk, mahirapan ako dito kasi hindi ko alam kung ano yung code chunk 25. So good practice is always to put a name. Pag gumagawa na kayo, lagyan yung name. Kunwari ito, null. Okay. So if I run this, okay, pag hanapin ko ulit dito siya, yan, si null. Chunk 23 si null. Kahit nasan ako, kunyari, andito ako sa unang-unang Nandito ako sa unang-unang code chunk dito. Yan, may pangalan setup, no? And then if I go here, hahanapin ko si null. Nasaan na si null? Easy for me to find it kasi may pangalan siya. Yan. Here. Chunk 23 null. If I click this, automatically it will bring me to that code chunk. Okay, so good index practice or good outlining practice. All right. Subset, guys, we have 1 or 2 more minutes. Let's see how far we can go. Hanggang dito na tayo kasi yung pangalawa, guys, list, no? So ito na lang, no? Subset and vectors. So we have this vector days. Okay? Gusto natin makuha yung first element niya, fourth element, first, third, fourth, first hanggang fourth. Anong ibig sabihin itong -5? Sige, i-run natin lahat to, no? Run natin lahat. Okay, let's take a look at this. So unang-una yung days natin is Monday up to Friday. It's a character vector. And then days 1. Ibig sabihin, gusto lang natin yung first element. So Monday lang siya. Dito, gusto natin yung fourth element. Thursday lang siya. Dito, first, third, and fourth. First, third, and fourth. Dito, 1 to 4. Okay, which is the same as days -5, ibig sabihin everything except -5. Yan. So ang ipiprint lang niya yung 1 to 4 lang, hindi yung fifth element. Okay, so that's how we subset. That's how we subset. Of course, if we want to create another object out of that, then i-define mo. Kunyari, days 1. Days 1. Okay, if I want another object called days 1, okay, lagyan ko siya ng parenthesis. Run po. Okay guys, so if I see here in the environment, meron na tayong object na days 1. And it's just Monday. So, yun. Okay, so it's time, guys. let me just briefly tell you, next meeting, pupunta tayo sa list. Anong kaiba ng list sa vector? Vector can only take one data type. List can take different data types. So kung gusto nyo guys na collection ng iba't iba, may numeric, may character, may logical, may integer, yan, then you have to use a function list. Ibig sabihin, pag list guys, subukan natin ito ha. Okay, let's call this L1, okay, just to start off this one. And then i-print natin L1, okay, this 1, 2, 1, 2, kulang pa ng isa. Okay. There. Ayan guys, si L1. So meron tayong 2, may 3, may hello, may false. So that's a list. That's a list. Okay, so we'll continue with this next meeting, guys. Thank you so much. Let me stop recording.